Hello and welcome back to AstroChiron, the video companion for AstroChiron.com. It's a one-stop shop for all things astrology, from readings to monthly horoscopes to a free Ask feature where you can reach me directly. This channel began with videos explaining your ascendant, sun, and moon signs, and now this series aims to teach you about the signs themselves. As a note, I'll be using the signs' binary expression when I refer to them, so water and earth signs are feminine, while their counterparts are masculine. As the caring defender, Cancer certainly earns her title as the mother of the Zodiac. She is a lover of the familiar, a carrier of tradition, and a denizen of emotional expression. While I do agree that Cancerians are emotional, they're not the crybabies that they're often touted to be. They are certainly in tune with their emotional being. I suppose a less emotionally intelligent person would likely see this instant and thorough processing of emotion as being overly dramatic or even irrational. Being so connected with their own emotional state, Cancerians can easily sense a disturbance in the energy around them. This intuition is extremely strong and should be relied on far more than it is ignored. Indeed, this ability adds to their overall power. Powerful is a trait often given to Cancer's axis partner, Capricorn, but Cancer natives are just as scary when someone they love needs protecting or when their home or sense of self is being exploited. Finally, Cancerians are very introspective. They spend all that time in their head, allowing them to have an immense understanding of themselves. This also hones their ability to delve deeply into the very core of someone else's psyche. All this really exemplifies the watery nature of Cancer as the cardinal water sign. In fact, Cancer is so watery that I imagine her as the global ocean. She is vast in her understanding and deep in her nature. She complements her axis partner Capricorn by acting as a boundary between the disparate continents. She is scary when unexplored and a source of life, ease, and understanding about the world when someone takes the time to get comfortable with her. And finally, like the sea, the moon influences her above all things. But before we get to the moon's pull on Cancer, we can discuss her other tendencies that place her in water. First, their tendency toward nostalgia points toward one who is deeply immersed in the memories and feelings of the past, both of which are some of the tenets of the spiritual element of water. It is this emotional focus that really encapsulates much of Cancer's nature, despite people's claims that emotions are an overly leaned on pillar of the Cancer archetype. I also believe that their ties to family and even their own past lives are very watery in nature, as these people are the ones who mostly inform how you form a relationship with your inner self. Now back to the moon, Cancer's ruler. One of the two luminaries, the other being the sun, the moon was birthed from Earth itself. She is tied to Earth like a mother is tied to her fetus in utero. Perhaps this is why both the moon and Cancer are associated with mothers and how they care for their babies. As for mythology, Luna is both the Latin name for our moon as well as the goddess who is the personification of the moon. Her Greek form is Selene. With her chariot pulled by oxen, she pulls the moon across the sky, much like her solar counterpart Helios. The team of oxen is interesting as the moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus. That leads us to Phoebe, the grandmother of Apollo and Artemis. Her name means bright, and Phoebe is often an epithet given to other moon goddesses or those associated with the luminary. And finally, we have Diana, the Roman amalgamation of Artemis and Hecate, both of whom are granddaughters of Phoebe. Diana is a 1 in 3 goddess, Diana of the hunt, Diana of the moon, and Diana of the underworld. This illustrates Cancer's layers. She's the hunter, providing for her family. She is the moon, lady of emotion and queen of the collective consciousness. She is of the underworld, delving into the deepest, darkest parts of herself and others, shining her pale light on things we've tried to bury. Now for her symbols. Despite a Cancerian's ability to cut past your defenses, they have their own armor that keeps them safe from poking and prodding of others. This is represented by the crab, their mascot. See hermit crabs, for example, carry their houses around with them wherever they go. As for all crabs, their hard shells protect their very soft and often delicious insides. And just like a Cancer native, the crab's best defense is a really good offense. You look to their big pointed claws that serve to warn you of their potential to harm you back. The crab's claws are what their symbol is depicting. I often associate their symbol with the number 69, though the 6 is fallen atop the 9, with the number rotating 90 degrees to the reader's right. Since I've indirectly mentioned a sex position, it may be time for our break. But before we go, I have yet to discuss Cancer's cardinality. The strike-first nature of most cardinal signs may be a bit dampened by the watery nature of Cancer, but their tenacious attitudes are proof enough. It's their protective nature which showcases the fierceness of, say, Aries, or the strength of their axis partner Capricorn. Finally, this cardinality is expressed in their comfort with being themselves. In fact, with Cancer's tie to the 4th house, the house of one's inner workings, they almost have no other option but to express the very essence of themselves. Okay, now I feel comfortable handing you over to the AstroChiron ad reader, whose voice may sound awfully familiar. This video is brought to you by Well, by me. I am the astrologer behind AstroChiron.com, the one-stop shop for astrological readings, articles, horoscopes, and art. The first 20 subscribers to this channel will gain access to all 20 plus written and live readings for a 40% off discount. I have a free ask feature that you can use for quick questions that I will respond to via blog post. Readings range from $25 to $200, whether you want 3 questions answered in detail all the way to a thorough hour-long or more reading from me personally via phone or video chat, discussing your entire natal chart, the aspects within it, and each planet's placement. Again, that's astrochiron.com, ASTRO-CHIRON.com. Now that we're back, let's look for Cancer's natal profile. First, we'll start with their hidden trait, being manipulative. If you're close with the native Cancerian, this will be no real shock to you, but they know themselves so well that they can pretty easily figure out what makes you tick. This gives them a real boost with their interpersonal relationships, especially those with people that they've had time to study, like family and longtime friends. If arrested, I could see Cancer going down for bribery. I basically see it as the criminal version of guilt tripping someone, except in this case, it's for the nefarious instead of what they think is good for you, or for Cancer's personal amusement. As for their likes and dislikes, this one won't come as a huge shock to anyone, but Cancerians love their family. Cancer is tied to the 4th house, the house of heritage, family, and home, so these are all things that are typically very important to a Cancer native. Their love of family is quite funny when you consider that they hate being pressured. We all know that family can often act as a stressor in life, always asserting their unsolicited opinions and their mostly well-meaning advice. Cancer natives know what they do and don't want to do, and hate any sort of manipulation, which is ironic considering their hidden trait. Listen, Capricorns and Cancers are probably 2 of the biggest hypocrites in the zodiac, depending on which of your planets they affect, and I say that as a Capricorn Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune, and Ascendant native. The final entry of their profile shows that Cancer may ask you as many questions as they please. I mean, how else are they going to know what's going on in the head of yours? Plus, they're quite nosy. They won't, however, be uncomfortable if they can help it. They aren't ones to put themselves in situations where they lack control, so perhaps this is why you don't tend to find Cancerians outside of the controlled environments of their own home. To wrap this up, I'll explain the big differences in having Cancer influence your sun versus your moon versus your ascendant. With your sun in Cancer, you exude maternity despite your expressed gender. There is a subtle protectiveness to you that pairs with an instinctive need to nurture those around you. Compare this with the Cancer moon. With your moon in the sign she rules, you're more emotionally in tune with yourself than other Cancer placements, though you may also be controlled by your emotions. Your need to withdraw does come up more than occasionally, as you can be very moody. Overall, though, you see yourself as protective. If you're a Cancer rising native, you handle things with subtlety and tend to be very conscious of others. Your caring nature may make others feel comfortable or make them feel suppressed. We'll end this video with a super Cancerian. A mainstay in the homes of many people in the 1990s, Geraldo Rivera was a daytime talk show host whose show was a pair of Maury and Jerry Springer. Many don't know that Geraldo was once a lawyer, providing legal counsel for many Puerto Rican men in East Harlem. His everyman kind of recognition gave him access to people's homes and lives, and at times, even shaping their most private thoughts about the goings-on in America. Plus, his work with the young lords of Harlem, who are all fellow New Yorkers, show a tendency or even a willingness to bolster one's home community. Geraldo has a Cancer sun in the 4th house, as well as a Cancer moon. Okay folks, that's Cancer all wrapped up in a bow. If you enjoyed this video and learned something, I want you to like it, and maybe even subscribe if you're liking the vibe of the channel. I want to thank you guys for watching. A new video is coming next Thursday, and to no one's surprise, it will cover the Lion Leo. As always, I wish you all much peace, and I give you much love.